Hey everybody, how you doing? You can see beside me here, for this video we're doing another paper plate test, but this one is specifically for some real heavy hitters. Really, I'd say if you're gonna go bear hunting, what would you want to take? This is what we're gonna take a look at here. Today we're doing some 12 gauge Magnum slugs versus the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum versus some real hot 45-70 Magnum loads. Here's the plates. I've actually got, how many did I put out here? 1,800 paper plates, which is much more than we normally do. In the videos we normally do 1,200 max, but we got 1,800 plates on the table. And you can see here, we've got the 12 gauge slugs, 500 Magnum, 45-70 Magnum. Let's run up to the table real quick, look at the guns, look at the bullets, then we're gonna get to shooting. For the 12 gauge, we're just shooting your regular old single shot. This one happens to be a Hatfield. Shoots good, but it kicks like a mule. And in the 12 gauge, we are going to be shooting the Brennecke Black Magic Magnum 3-inch slugs. These are actually 600 grain slugs here. So these are not your average bear slugs. They are definitely super hot. You can look at the numbers there on this box. But that's what we're going to be shooting first. Big thanks to a viewer who goes by Mars Capone for sending those Brennecke bear slugs in to us. Big thanks to you, Mars. Secondly, we're going to shoot the 45-70. For this video, we have a Marlin model 1895, pretty sweet gun. And the ammo we're going to be using here is some real hot 45-70 Magnum loads. The 45-70 Magnum loads were sent in by viewer Al. So big thanks to you, Al, for sending us in that ammo. And lastly, we are going to be shooting the Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum. I need to talk a little bit more about the bullets. So, 12 gauge is 600 grain. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but I believe these 45-70s are either 405 grain or 430. I'm pretty sure this is 405 grain. And the 500 Magnum is a 400 grain bullet. Let's load up and do some shooting. This is about to be a whole lot of fun. First shot here is with those Brennecke 12 gauge Black Magic slugs. Also, I failed to mention, I'm gonna shoot the plates, then count them. I already tried to film this once and the bullets were crossing paths and I couldn't see how far they all went. So we're gonna shoot each one, then count the plates. This is about to be a whole lot of fun. So right here, got the Brennecke 3-inch Black Magic Magnums. Let's see what happens with the plates. I'm gonna shoot them all pretty close to near point blank here. I've got to go see what happened there. I don't think it went all the way out the back, but we're definitely going to find out what happened. So, counted the plates. The 12 gauge Brenneckes went through 308 plates. But I want to show you the plates and the massive damage that it did to the plates as it tore through. At the very back, this is the very last plate. You can see it just kind of had a large punch to it. And then there's no bullet to be found. All the lead more or less came apart into little bitty shreds. You can see some of it there. But as we kind of dissect some of this, I wanted to show you front to back kind of what was happening with those plates. You can see right there, it's just a massive force at the back continuing to punch a hole. Push a little bit further, kind of the same thing. Get closer to the front. See how it's tearing that hole through there. About halfway through, that's what that 12 gauge is doing. Quite a bit of massive damage there, especially when you consider the diameter of the slug when it's leaving the barrel. Then we come up to the front. You can see right there the hole is obviously the same size of the slug there, but pretty cool to see how it's tearing through that paper there with the 12 gauge. 12 gauge, 308 plates. Let's go grab the 45-70 rifle, see what happens with those. We'll put some new plates on the table. Now we got the Marlin model 1895, and those 45-70 Magnum rounds. Let's see what it does to these plates. Bears beware. Same thing here, pretty much point blank range at these plates right in the center. Let's take a quick look here. It didn't come out the back, so I'm gonna pause, count these plates, come back to you and show you the damage and how many plates it went through. That 45-70 load actually went a little bit further. Let's take a look at what happened. We saw that 12 gauge Brennicky did 308 plates. The 45-70 went through 361 plates. I don't know why that fly is hanging around here. Shoot. So it went a little bit further with that 45-70. You can see the very last plate here. This is the last one with a dent. And then look at the back. Very similar to that 12 gauge where it's punching quite a large area out of that plate there. And pretty much the same thing. A lot of that lead disintegrated. But let me see if I can grab this. Oh, that's hot. The casing, there's the casing off the 45-70, but you can see pretty much all the lead is gone out of it, and it was all disintegrated into little bitty plates. Here's a little bit of it there. Ooh, that's pretty shiny. This is really the only piece of lead out of those plates there. The rest of it kind of disintegrated into a bunch of nothing. Let's take a look at how it ripped through the plates here with the 45-70. You can see there, it's kind of like what the 12 gauge did, punching a big hole, but a little bit smaller than the 12 gauge. Punching that hole through there. Smaller as we get closer to the front. Then you can see there's the entry hole there. So, pretty cool there with the 45-70. Punching the hole through those plates. But like I said, went through a little bit more plates. Now let's go shoot that 500 Magnum pistol. Third test, Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum. Those 400 grain bullets. Let's see how many plates this goes through. I'm gonna guess this one beats the other two, the 12 gauge and the 45-70. But let's see, this should be a pretty good bullet to catch here. It doesn't get any more fun, I don't think, than shooting this big 500 Magnum revolver, but I'm gonna take a look at these plates and get right back to you, count them, and we'll see what kind of terror it did to these plates ripping through. All right, so counted the plates with the 500 Magnum pistol, and it went quite a bit ways further, and we actually caught the bullet in one solid piece. There's that 500 Magnum bullet that we caught there. It separated from the casing there, but most of it stayed intact, you can see there. The 500 Magnum pistol went through over twice as many plates as the 12 gauge and the 45-70. Let's take a look at what it did to the plates. There's the very last one, and the bullet was between these two stack of plates. You can see how it's ripping that hole through there. Not far off of what the 12 gauge and the 45-70 were doing. And then back to the front there. So there you can see how it was ripping through those plates and making a bigger hole as it went along. Thanks for watching the video today, guys, with what I'm going to call our grizzly bear test with these heavy hot loads. That 12 gauge and those Black Magic slugs definitely have a ton of power. Just very similar, I'd say, to those 45-70 hot loads. And it's always fun shooting the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. But I tell you what, if I myself am gonna go bear hunting or grizzly hunting, I would probably pick the 45-70 simply because I like having the lever action for those quick follow-up shots. Of course, you could have a lever action shotgun or a pump shotgun or what have you, but my preference would be hauling the 45-70 and then keeping the 500 Magnum with me holstered as follow-up shots. So if I'm going bear hunting, I'm taking the 45-70 and the 500 Magnum pistol. But thanks for watching the video, guys. This one was a whole lot of fun. Paper plate test versus these heavy hitters. A big thanks to my buddy Jeff. Also, a big shout out and a big thanks to Heavy Metal Guns and Outdoors. We appreciate your support. Everybody go check out their channel as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the WHOTEEWHO channel if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the next video, guys. WHOTEEWHO!